This one's out to the heads that know. Never been seen like jet black snow. When I'm on stage with the mic in my hand, got the vibe with the gang and the rest not know. Living in peace, use breath control, and if I'm in deep, let's tread that slow. Don't come with a next angle. Got more sides in the rectangle. All that past, just let that go. Turn off the lights, don't end that show. Look from dance floor, show gets live-o. I see pyros, I see smoke. Graveyard shift, that's set in stone. Stepping stones, I'm stepping slow. Come to the venue, bless them go. My DJs come to let them know.
This video is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Welcome back, YouTube. This is Eric at Studio 182 Pro with Austin Oral Parabolic 33 live streaming in the house. Good to see everybody here early tonight. We're sorry that we were on late. We had a last minute cancellation, and yeah, Austin was having some tech issues here. We got that sort of resolved. We do have that audio issue still going on in the background. We'll try and get that straightened out as we go. So tonight, I'm going to just pass this right off to Austin because he and I actually haven't even had a chance to talk. He had a guest lined up that just backed out. And we do have a bunch of questions, and there is a lot of things that Austin himself wants to discuss that he just sent me in his email. So where is he? There he is. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
I'm good. I think it would be good just to focus on like some of the incomplete thoughts that I had brought up in the other live streams we had done, and rather than kind of like semi-finishing them.
Yeah.
Time, just to, I guess, like complete the thought, because it's hard to do. Like, I've been disorganized. I've wanted to like hit on this stuff, but like, if everybody beforehand doesn't know exactly what I'm going to be touching on, then it's kind of like, we can only go so in depth with it. So I got a compilation of all of my labs, all the blood work I've ever done, essentially. And, that'll at least just show like that I do blood work and what I've pulled from it. I have used to have visual mock-ups and all that of everything, but at least this way I can just at least explain it to you. Yeah, so that is in the file that I sent you. So
yeah, well, all right, let's before we go ahead and do that, Austin, because I got to first pull up that
I just wanted to kind of let people know that's like what I'm going to be going into. I just want to talk about like some of the observations and the specific things of the unique claims that I make. So I'm going to kind of touch the ground here with this. Basically, that's what I have on my mind.
All right, cool. I just wanted to take this question here and let you just talk about it for a bit while I start working on pulling up those emails from Joshua Kevin Perry. He dropped earlier. He's asking for your thoughts on Ivabradine for Retta research, as well as has anyone watched the molecular video?
I really don't know what that is. Ivabradine. I don't know what it is. Type it in the comments. Live chat, guys.
Yeah, help us out.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. And yeah, Retta for heart rate.
Oh, heart rate. I thought he was putting that down as the research symbol. My bad. All right, cool.
Do people get a speed up, an increase in their
heart rate? Yeah, it's a bump of like if I remember correctly, like 3 to 8 beats per minute.
Do we know why? Like, I mean, type it in the comments on why that is. Like, I can touch on it. But if you have an Apple Watch, just go and look at your data over time, and it's not necessarily going to be picked up by the actual trends of whatever the algorithm uses to be able to determine that on your you go into the health app and look at that. Often it won't show trends like before you'll be able to just visually see. But I did notice that with GH, GH did increase my resting heart rate.
Definitely.
Transient.
I got your labs up. I'd like to take this question here from who's this? Pokey Account, or no? What happened there? There he is. Yeah, is estrogen receptor beta or alpha that causes IGF-1 conversion in the liver?
I haven't honestly no idea, but estradiol, definitely has a correlation to how much IGF-1 you'll see in serum. That is easy to measure. I have labs here like that show when my estradiol was higher, I got a higher IGF, considerably. But I don't know if it's a beta or alpha, or even if it is even directly related to the estrogen receptor itself that causes that. But
Marty, good to see you, man. All right, Austin. Yeah, we got other questions here too that we're going to get to, but why don't we go ahead and share your labs here and let's start talking about this.
All right, cool. So this is one.
Not that we didn't redact anything there, but all right, we're good. Everybody knows it's Austin.
Yeah, that's me. I have this high platelet trend. You guys will see. I don't really know exactly what it's. I have something to do with the immune system, but like one of the interleukins. Go down to the end of this CBC. Let's look at SHBG.
There we go. Right here, yeah.
So at this point, I had been switching back and forth between boldenone cypionate and DHB at this point. So that was one of the other experiments that I was doing. And to kind of flip back and forth to see which compounds actually did allow the increase in SHBG. So I would do it in 3-week blocks, like take 3 weeks on this, or I would take longer on changing it, but every 3 weeks I would check the labs because that was an interval in which I could notice a change happening.
Hey, Austin, hold that thought right there. Pokey's Account's also asking here, this is a good question for you. What do you think is the best anabolic or your personal favorite? I already know the answer to this when paired with E2.
Yeah. I mean, if you could only pick one, Tren. Tren is like the best, full stop. But the DHB is kind of the clean one. Like it's just
I knew it. Yeah.
Low side effect, like well tolerated, best tolerated, refined DHT derivative. And another thing I kind of wanted to complete touching on was the experiment that I did where I ran it for 7 months straight, comparing the toxicity of it, because there's that Todd Lee claim, that
right.
GGT levels are elevated on DHB. And I actually saw literally the lowest GGT levels on any compounds at all, actually, compared to Primo even. I had run just Primo and Estradiol, and pull up that labs.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, do me a favor, and let's try one thing real quick. Let's see if you go ahead into the settings for audio, and if you click remove background noise, gone, instant. Nice, dude. So much better. Holy shit, that was driving me fucking insane.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't realize.
I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. We gotta hit end screen
sorry,
now.
Bro. I didn't know my mic.
I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty fucking annoying. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. I figured that would resolve it. All right, so back to your labs here. Where did you want to head next, or did you want to keep going on the SHBG? I know you could talk about this for about 3 weeks.
Let's see the GGT levels. Go down. There'll be GGT. Somewhere in here. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you just right here. Yep, I got it. Yep.
So, I'd gone lower to this. I thought it was 27, but that was on 1,050 milligrams DHB and 525 Tren hex and estradiol. So, and I wasn't taking NAC or injectable glutathione or anything, just vitamin C and, my usual vitamin D, vitamin K stack, just super basic stuff. And I had one of the best GGT values.
Let's talk more about that. Let's talk about what's the mechanism behind D3 and K2 that are a benefit, because I just don't know, and I was curious.
Yeah, D3 is your absorption of calcium, and it allows it to get into the body. And then vitamin K, this is Charlie, guys. She comes to join me here.
Nice.
But so vitamin K allows that calcium to be sequestered for the processes that it's used for. I'm honestly not sure exactly through what transporter or what cellular whatever that it does to do that, but vitamin K, people have probably heard about this if you're in this space, the high dose vitamin K that you can kind of decalcify your arteries, from doing that, which is interesting, obviously. But I mean, I take it for that. That's, I haven't gotten a heart scan yet other than an echo, but
yeah. And you've had more than a few echoes. How'd they all come out? Pretty good.
So I've had one echo actually, but I have left wall thickening specifically. So not just left ventricular hypertrophy, but it's a very typical high blood pressure signal. And
is that congenital?
I had high blood pressure from the time I was 19. And
Okay.
It's funny. My doctor, he wrote in it, consistent with high blood pressure when starting self-prescribed testosterone, which wasn't even true. Like, I had a prescription, and it's in my chart, and it's also in my chart, the 182/97 blood pressure that I got in the office. I don't know how many
How
times.
the heck do they reach that conclusion that it was actually they're trying to say that a congenital condition was caused when you implemented testosterone? Where are they coming up with this?
Right, because it's a high blood pressure signature, and he's trying to say that the testosterone caused my high blood pressure, not the fact that he didn't know how to treat high blood pressure for me. But
right,
no offense. Sorry, man. I'm friendly with this guy, but
yeah,
I thought that
I
was
hear
weird.
you. All right, so we're looking at your GGT.
Yeah, so I guess just this was the basic thing here where, it's kind of, this is in response to Dr. Todd Lee's claim. Like, I didn't observe this, and in the other people who I've had for clients, had perfectly good GGT levels. And on DHB with E2, you'll actually see superior lipids too, because you can kind of take a significantly lower milligram dose, I would presume. But yeah, my ALT and ASD are always like this when I'm training. But after 4 days off, there's the low albumin pattern that we were talking about with Mike. So, yeah, it's gone back up. Now I'm back into range, but I haven't.
Well, yeah, you've been off, anything but therapeutic doses for quite some time now.
66 milligrams a week.
Yeah, that's very low. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you feel at that dose?
Oh, you know.
Well, yeah, I know. Like, I know sexually speaking, but it's like, do you notice a difference between, say, running 250 milligrams a week or 66?
I feel better.
You better feel better at 66.
It depends on 66 of what, obviously. Like, on 66 of this, it was more strong than 210 test decanoate that I was using, that I had just switched back and forth from a few times. So, yeah, measurably so, too.
Test decanoate you're using, huh? How frequently you putting it?
I think I was doing it once a week or twice a week, but that was what was available.
Yeah.
It was like You can make that at a high concentration too. So that's like another reason why people like it. I think it will like comfortably go to like 400 or something.
Yeah, take a look here at this question. What do you suppose is the reason DHP is touted as liver toxic? Now, that's something I actually used to hear all the time back on H4M. I was like, hey, I thought DHP was actually very toxic. Since recent bloods from you and others are showing it's not toxic as thought.
Right. So see if you can scroll down to find HSCRP on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. There is a higher. There's one where
Must be up higher.
1.05. It's on page 9.
Oh, geez. Where am I? Is it even on this one? Let's go. Okay. Let's just put in page 9. How's that? Nice and simple. Bam. Look at that. Right.
Yep. So I had gotten it considerably higher, but
where the hell is it?
You just go down a little bit, scroll right just past it, right there.
Yep.
Notice that prolactin, guys. See that
22.2. Yeah. Oh, 36. Yes. Previous result dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any issues at all at that. I actually have felt at my best with a high prolactin like that, which is, I've tried to preemptively lower it with Caber, but I don't get any benefit at all from it, actually. And I've heard other people say that too. But to not change the topic, like this is when I was alternating for 7 months back and forth between a preparation of boldenone cypionate at 91 milligrams per ml and another one at 40 something milligrams per ml. And then the DHB was at the same. And like clockwork, basically, when I would flip to the higher concentration stuff, I would get that spike in my HSCRP. As you can see, it wasn't that high in this one, but I know I have had other ones during this time when it was like even above that. And then I repeated this a few times too. And I was actually getting a fever. Like I was running like at 99.8 some days, like and getting chills and goosebumps. Like,
is that where you were talking about the test flu with Mike in that video about a month ago?
Right. And that was on DHB, but it was also on boldenone cypionate, and it was also on testosterone phenylpropionate at too high of a concentration. So it seems to be not compound. It's not to do with the compound. It seems to do with the concentration causing irritation from the depot crystallization and then the irritation that comes about. Does that make sense?
It's it's crashing in the depot. I remember we discussed this a couple of times now.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of made a way to test that out.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what if you were to, excuse me, what if you were actually to pin less, but in multiple spots?
I tried.
So you're still getting that.
Yeah. It does work-ish to a degree sometimes because you can get away with like small volumes sometimes with stuff that would otherwise give you an inflamed area that is correlated with this increase in HSCRP and also other inflammatory markers too. But what was I going to say? It's kind of hit or miss. You can't, like, when something like that gives you inflammation, not every injection you do will have that effect happen. Like sometimes you can take a shot and you'll have a massive sterile abscess, like your muscles like hard as a rock to the touch and red hot, and like your body's just freaking out. It's a whole bunch of immune activity going on there, and that's what shows up in the labs.
Hey, I wanted to take this here. He's giving you a shout out here from who's it? John Wiggum. I guess he's one of your guys, right? He fucking loves DHB, Estradiol, and DHB or test and DHB. All I ever need after working with Austin using his DHB pip-free brew. Wow, you got a pip-free brew. Nice. I should patent that. I have never had any pip at all, and liver values are untouched. That's pretty fucking cool.
Thank you for that. Thank you for putting your experience in here, man. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Verb?
Hey, Verb. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming by tonight, man. What do we got here? Also from John Wiggum. Also been on 5 months now straight, and I don't notice I am any kind of or anything like a kind of primo, rather.
And don't even notice I'm like, oh, with DHB.
Yeah.
Right. I get like just, super physiological androgen, I guess, state feeling. Like you just feel on. Androgens aren't really like, I don't think of them as like drugs per se. They're not like psychotropic, really.
Right.
Like you just can kind of be at your best all the time. And the stack that reliably does that the best for me is either Tren with estradiol or DHB with estradiol.
Speaking of Tren, I wanted to take this here, and this is interesting, and I'd like to hear what you have to say about this. This is Tren's neurotoxicity. People claim come from CNS stimulation preventing sleep. I would imagine no.
So that could be one way in theory, but it comes from in vitro studies where a petri dish of cells had Tren dumped on it, or mice studies. Like all of those, any studies you find about neurotoxicity from anything, they're always in an estrogen deprived state. And we know estradiol itself is what contributes to preventing neurodegeneration. So like, I don't know how it could be separated to determine like this study shows this study shows that, when it's not even controlled for that there is also the whole other effect of estrogen deprivation. I could be wrong on that because it's not a subject they've gone super deep into to like prove or disprove. Like there could be, I'm sure there's could be more at play here than that, but like neurotoxicity, how would it occur? Is it excitotoxicity from like constantly releasing, too much dopamine from the synapse and, oxidative stress occurs? Like there has to be some sort of mechanism behind it. And to me, it's not really clear why Trenbolone would have a unique toxic effect compared to testosterone. But androgens in general are neurotoxic, but I think there's also the opposite too. It's kind of not really known, but I would pose that it could be through allopregnanolone. Like I think that Tren might interrupt allopregnanolone some reason or somehow, because it's almost like the opposite of whatever allopregnanolone is like just a guess what I'm feeling, because like progesterone kind of makes you calm in a way, but like Tren does the opposite. It's almost like it's like a progesterone or an allopregnanolone blocking effect.
Now, what I've always heard, and people would say, and coming from even doctors saying the reason why Tren is neurotoxic is because it crosses the blood-brain barrier. Now, don't all androgens then cross the blood-brain barrier?
I wouldn't even know. I think they probably would. Like, I don't know why the chemical structure is like all or nothing, where Tren wouldn't, or Tren would, but Test doesn't. I don't think that's true. I'm not sure. I couldn't disprove it to you right now. But one of the things is like when you have strong androgen receptor activation in the absence of estrogen receptor activation, you get toxic outcomes. But that can be seen with any and all steroids. And Trenbolone's uniquely potent milligram per milligram. So it depends on what you're comparing it at, And also, anyone go look, you won't find a study of this done on a whole organism, or even an in vitro study on like a cell-based assay where the thing is not estrogen deprived. And we know estrogen deprivation is toxic. So not sure how you could separate it. That's why a lot of this stuff, like all the ways that we view what reality is through medical truth, it's built on like a shitty test. So it's not that I'm saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that some things that like we think are knowable aren't yet.
Well, before we get off the DHB topic, we want to take care from Pokey Account, since we're on the DHB topic, asking, do you think using an AI on DHB would increase the DHB metabolite? OBV, since you're using ET, obviously you're using estrogen isn't an issue, right?
So, I think he means in AI while on EQ to increase the DHB metabolite. And I have really no idea, honestly. Not sure. There's this. Let's take this. I saw the thumbnail for this, but I did not watch it. And now I wish I did. I'm curious what the premise is. But I have definitely seen boldenone result in some sort of estrogenic effect on its own at a high enough dose. Like I've been on an estradiol base at maybe 800 something milligrams of boldenone and then ramped that up to over 1500. And it was just a one-off thing. So I felt like I got gyno inflammation from that.
Gee, you? Not at all. That gyno, right. Man. I watched that reel today. I'm like, holy shit, that shit was wild.
Right. I'm glad I got that before and after pick. You know, it served the purpose. But
definitely.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if people are doing that like more popular now, like because I had like surgery level gyno.
Oh yeah. Is it gone? Like, is it completely gone, or do you still have some lumps?
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Fully gone.
Well, yeah. I mean, people are just looking for the cream, is what it was, and they're having a hard time coming across it.
Yeah. The best way is anything with PEG 400, probably 300 too, but you want it to get absorbed like really good into the area. I don't know what Primarin is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted to pull that up. I wasn't even sure how to pronounce that. To be used as estrogen base. I know that it's a wild card, but due to its half-life, it could be something to look into.
Conjugated estrogens. I wouldn't probably use it. Yeah. No, it's not bioidentical estradiol. So I don't really know about much about it. But let's go into I want to keep hitting on this inflammation thing on DHB because I'm the DHB guy right now and the SHBG guy, and we got my labs right here. Yep. So we'll take this IGF-1 question after, but let's see. Keep going to find another HSCRP. What date is this?
What date is this? This is from 4/7 of 90. What?
Oh, that's my birthday. Let's see.
Oh yeah. Okay. That 3/31/25. I was like, what? Okay. 93. Holy shit. I graduated high school in 93.
All right. Now go down. Let's go historically. So let's go older and find another C-reactive protein. No, actually, let's hit on this too. Well,
yeah,
because I had that label.
The GGT, SHBG, GGT and SHBG.
Yeah. So.
I see.
This is another GGT that's mad low. You know, having a 22 on this much gear is like pretty good. I wasn't even taking NAC or injectable glutathione either. So I just want to kind of stake that flag basically, because there's what Todd observed is something that I have also observed, but I observed it when I was using the incorrect formulation where it was too high of a concentration. And you can keep going down to another. Let's go to another GGT or HSCRP.
Okay, right here. Got another GGT.
Okay. All right, and then here's the 51. So go up, stay there, right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
So that was when I was having a ton of whole body bad shots after bad shots on boldenone, cypionate, and I don't remember if it was Bold Sip or DHB at the time. I would alternate in every 3 week cycles, and from the same ingredients, we'll say, using the same everything, just the concentration being different was the difference between this 51 GGT and the 22 GGT. So I don't, I think it's pretty clear there that like the inflammation and the stress to your body comes from the injection itself, the depot itself. Nobody uses it now anymore, but like Test 500 or Test 400, that it's believed that, those cause test flu.
Yeah, we just talked about that recently, about the freaking pip that comes from those. And a lot of people, the theory is that there's too much benzo alcohol as far as concentrations.
Right. And I can actually speak to that too, because I've tested that. It's not actually the benzoate or the glycol or the solvents itself. It is the fact that those solvents allow you to get a higher concentration into a jar, into a vial, without crashing. So if you had just 200 milligrams per ml test and enthate, but you had it 50% benzoate, it would be, you wouldn't have the same pip. Like that's the Bayer Rimabolin formulation. I think it's like 40% benzoate in the Bayer Rimabolin amps. So that doesn't cause the pip. It's just the fact that having a lot of a solvent allows you to get a lot of gear into a small amount of oil.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're just being lazy. I mean,
they're making it so well. People
they don't want to pin that much volume of oil when you're pinning grams of gear. I get it, but if you pin your thigh and you can't walk for 5 days, it's kind of defeating the purpose.
Right. Right. I pinned my calf once because I was during this experiment when I was walking around with the 100 fever or the 99 point whatever fever. Yeah, I was I had used so many sites. I was using quads, chest, all heads of my delts, lats, triceps, biceps, just everything. And I went. You must
look like you've been stung by like a hornet's nest.
It looked weird, like because one arm was like at one point like really like flat but swollen, and let's see, this John's got
let's pull this up, guys. Excuse me. It's weird. Sustanon 500 used to give him inflammation, flu symptoms. After 2 months at night, he never messed with it again. He occasionally uses it now if he missed a shot of 250. So I mean, you hear a lot overseas Sustanon being used, especially in TRT protocols. I'm just wondering where he's from.
This is like a UGL Sustanon mix because it's 500 milligrams per ml.
Like, absolutely. I have a UGL Sustanon stack right now, and it's not real Sustanon. It's not.
Yeah. It's just like a mashup of the esters.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's from the USA here. Yeah. So you're right.
The thing that happens with this is at the problematic bold sip formulation that was too high and the problematic DHB that was too high, I honestly could get away with completely 0 pip shots, like often. And the same was happening to me with everything that was on the borderline there. Primo acetate injectable. You could get away with it, especially in the beginning. Like when you start it, you're like, okay, it's working. Hey, nice. I'm good. And then just one of the shots, it's brutal. Like it's hot to the touch. It's hard as a rock. And that doesn't have to be that level. It could just be minor over time, having a little bit. I mean, it makes sense. If you're getting crystallization in your depot, that is causing mechanical damage to your muscle fibers. And you do not experience mechanical damage to your muscle fibers unless you have an open flesh wound. So your immune system is rightfully freaking out. But yeah, does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I follow that. I was, we've actually been talking about this for some time, and it's the test flu debate. resolved. Actually, I wanted to go ahead and take a quick look at this IGF-1 question here for you. Austin, what dose and timing would you run IGF-1 LR3? Is it good for pre-contest? You are the only guy I know that talks it up so highly, and I want to try it out now.
So, you do a trial run anytime anything is pre-contest. Do it when you're in a controlled situation. Do it. I would say try it on your low days. Like create a low week, honestly, of like at least 10 days of low days in a row. Because if you have like, if you run on a weekly basis on a 7-day cycle, you've got low, medium, and high days. When you try and add in a thing like IGF-1 LR3 is going to depend, like the effect that it gives you is going to depend on what's happening around it, because it won't necessarily be the same as if you just had a high day or you've been really deprived. But in my experience, LR3 is really good at keeping you full, even when you're like completely depleted. So the timing, I take it pre-workout because the pump is sick. Doesn't really matter, but you could probably maybe in theory get more anabolism from it if you take it right at the end of your workout, post-workout. So it's like at its highest concentration when you are, well, when you've got replenished glycogen stores after your workout. That's like the sweet spot for your anabolism. Is like after a workout, you've replenished everything super quick. You've spent little time in a deprived state. The ingredients are there for muscle protein synthesis. That's when you want the IGF-1 there. But it's got a long half-life, so it doesn't overly matter.
All right. Moving back to the blood work. Let's take this last one here and clear the chat. Yeah, we have several more in the starred for us, but let's take this one here from Pokey Account, or Pokey Account, rather. Does the body use SHBG to code for androgen receptor density as a homeostatic mechanism when free androgens are too high?
Interesting thought. I'm trying to work this through, but let's see. Androgen receptor density. I don't know of any relationship directly between androgen receptor density and SHBG. But the relationship that I do know is through, shout out Vigorous Steve, who's the one talking about this first that I heard, is the SHBG receptor complex, where you've got the SHBG, the free SHBG binds onto the SHBG receptor site, and then a free androgen binds onto that, and then it increases the cyclic AMP and among other things that lead to downstream increase in gene transcription when an androgen then later binds to the androgen receptor. So it's like an amplifier is how I like to make the analogy. You can think of the SHBG receptor complex as like the amplifier for an electric guitar, but free androgens and the androgen receptor itself is like the actual guitar signal and the volume knob. But if you turn that up to the point so high that you blow the amp, you know, you're kind of just maxed out.
Well said. All right. Let's keep strolling along here. Another GGT.
Okay.
This one's even older. This goes back. You're on 875 bold sip, 350 ment, 1050 DHB, 122724.
Yeah. No, I don't like ment.
No, you don't?
Yeah, no. Let's see.
Yeah, your SHB is still in the gutter here. Huh?
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
In this, let's see. When I added in, I think this is when I got a bump in SHBG. This one right here that will be coming up soon.
C-reactive protein.
Let's see. Keep going. Is there an SHBG coming up here soon? Oh, Glyce A. See? Check your Glyce A, guys. I was screwed up with this. But GGT.
There's your SHBG, yeah. GGT and SHBG.
So as you can, my SHBG came up. But what I had done was I changed from 3 grams of bold sip to 2 grams of bold sip and 1,000 DHB and 900 something. But that was like a, whatever boost
this is. Like, and this is kind of how I hunted for compounds to figure out what does what in these 3-week intervals. Like, so when I would see a 4.9 to 7.2 in, I think it was only 19 days, that's like proof of possibly a signal. Like, something in this stack did that. So in this case, it was DHB, and I went to later on just keep testing that. And I've got other people who've done it now too. And everything needs to be at play though. Like, you got to have your estradiol right, your thyroid right. And, if you've added anything in that lowers SHBG, like, it's going to stay crushed. Like, it's so much easier to lower it than it is.
I got a question for you about SHBG and women. Now, if a woman's taking, excuse me, oxandrolone, all right, let's say she's taking 5 to 10 milligrams later on in the 6-week cycle, and since she's pinning estradiol exogenously, how does it have as much of an impact on her SHBG as it would a man?
The oxandrolone?
Yeah.
So yes, it does. Like, because ultimately it's the oxandrolone itself is the lowering force, and estradiol itself, from whether it's coming from exogenous or from aromatized test, that it's all the same, but a higher a higher E2 in serum. So like, typically for a female, you'd have a higher estradiol level. That will be a buffer from oxandrolone lowering estradiol as much. I mean, Jesus, SHBG won't get as lowered basically in a girl.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was asking. If it was
Right.
if it would impact it as much as it would a man's SHBG.
Right. Yes, you're right. You're correct. It will not lower it as much. It still will, but it will be higher at the end of the day because of the higher E2 level.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Good shit. All right. Let's pull that back up.
I think I think the best stack has the potential to be just like a clean androgen like that, like oxandrolone, dihydroboldenone, and estradiol, and then you would need progesterone too, for a female.
Yeah. Wow, that's an interesting stack. Would be a good one, huh?
Yeah, I get good experience with that for people. You can have a higher,
good for a man too.
Right. I mean, you can have a total higher androgen load without contributing to DHT getting converted in the places you don't want it.
Right. So you're then lessening the chances of virilization, or at least pushing them further down the road anyhow.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Ferritin, that's another inflammation proxy potentially too, because your body lowers, increases ferritin when you're in an more inflamed state, more or less. But it's not that simple. Like, let's scroll up again. Actually, let's go to another SHBG, and I can show more of these. I think we might have passed one.
There's one right here.
Okay, so then this stayed the same. This was the ment was a new variable here, so this was kind of the one I wish I did. I wish I did a more controlled study on ment, like specifically, but I was testing that concentration thing too at this time. So, here Tanya's got her experience. 35 is considerably high, for being on oxandrolone at all. So like that kind of, I think that was to your benefit, in my opinion. So thank you for chiming in with that.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great anecdotal data right there.
I'd be curious to see other ones.
Yeah, I want to get my wife's labs done real soon, and she came off oxandrolone about a month ago. And
how did she feel on that?
She felt really good. It was a very successful cycle. She did good. She hit androgen overload on the second to last day of her cycle. The last week she was on 5 milligrams twice a day, of pharma grade oxandrolone. She
Mhm.
started off at 2.5 milligrams twice a day, and went to like 3 milligrams, then 4 milligrams, then 5 milligrams, then so then it was up to 10 milligrams for the 6 week, and it was on the 6th day, and then the next day was her last day of the cycle. And she was like, all of a sudden, she was like, I'm so freaking tired. I'm like falling asleep at my desk and whatnot. And I'm like, I know that feeling when you get that oxandrolone crash, right? And that was the week she was at the peak of her androgens. So I said, yeah, just stop don't take your second dose of oxandrolone after a couple days. It passed.
Yeah.
That's the crash that a lot of people talk about that take oxandrolone. They'll run it like at a high dose. Like I did, like when I first ordered pharma grade oxandrolone, I got the 50 milligram caps without before I got the scale. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I don't care. I'll just take 50 milligrams once a day, because I used to take 25 twice a day of the UGL, no big deal. Huge difference. Holy shit. Right. I felt like I was so strong. The acute strength gains were insane in the gym. Right.
Wow.
And then like, I don't know, less than a week, maybe 5-6 days later, I broke out in the most painful acne I'd ever had in my life. Like I could barely lay down on the bench without going, right. It was horrible. You couldn't even touch it. So I went tanning 4 days in a row to burn that shit out. Never did 50 milligrams oxandrolone again. Matter of fact, I'm done with oxandrolone. I have a scale. I weigh it out like to whatever milligram. Like I don't even take a pre-workout.
Yeah. I've got honestly like the least experience with oxandrolone of like any androgen at all. I mean, maybe like some obscure things like, methyl Tren. Like I haven't taken that very much either, but I'm guessing you were on test or a significant dose of test when you had that acne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The last part I want to talk about was not only was it the acne, I hit a fucking wall, bro. I mean, I was so lethargic and just tired. I could barely move. And that's the oxandrolone like crash that people talk about. I remember when we were on H4M, Ryan used to talk about it all the time. We were trying to find the reason why that was. I'm not sure if we ever actually reached a conclusion as to why, but it's probably just androgen overload with the non-genomic effect. Perhaps.
I don't even know, like liver related maybe too, because like my experience with oxandrolone, mostly I was taking it transdermally. So like that gave me a good look, but I only ran it for like 17 days. So
you feel great on it. I mean, it's a great compound. I mean, I really like it, but I don't like the SHBG problem. That's why I don't want to. Yeah, mine's low enough. I don't need to crush anymore.
Well, and the thing is it's good to kind of actually like to ride that wave. I'm using Primarin intermittently right now. Like my preferred stack actually is like using something like, I haven't tried it with oxandrolone yet, but it's kind of like a nitrous button, but you can only smash that button to get a boost that is detectable so many times before you got to take a break. And it does seem to be related to when your SHBG is high enough to be brought down. And then on that way down, that's when you're getting the super physiological androgen feel to it.
Speaking of orals, I'm on 50 milligrams of D-ball right now.
Oh, really? How do you feel?
Man, fucking great.
Do you feel good from D-ball uniquely to anything else?
Yeah, definitely. Especially at first. Like, I've never run it longer than like 4 or 5 weeks, and that was years ago, man. And I decided to go for a jog around the block, and it was hilarious. I'd get like 150 feet, and my calf pumps were so insane. I would literally have to sit down on a curb and massage the blood out of them. And then I'd be like, I can make it to that stop sign. I'm running like Eddie Hall, right? And I'm like, oh my God, the calf pumps are killing me. I said, fuck this shit. I'm done with D-ball, dude. And then all of a sudden I was like, since I just got back into the gym, I was like, I just want to give it a good kick. Something for the first month.
I got like a decent strength boost from it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'd only used it like pre-workout. I've never like taken it like in a continued fashion. But like, I mean, continued as in like not more than like 3 weeks. But this let's see. This guy here, he said something.
Oh, my bad.
Who's MP3?
Can't wait for MP3. He's where I got the idea of the two bases, and come to find out, he got the idea from you. Also crazy that this works, man. Appropriate. I appreciate you experimenting with these topics. Now I don't know who MP3 is. Let's look it up.
Yeah. So I've heard like a couple of people now have come back to me, and I'm glad that this is catching on, because I heard Dr. Dean St. Mark, who I've talked with him a few times, like a long time ago. Like he has a client, I guess, on Primo and Estradiol cypionate. So I was like, oh shit, that is parabolic approved. I would like to get his thoughts on it and why, what reasons he likes to use it. I wonder if he even knows I exist. You guys can ask him. But let's see. There was like a specific question about the estradiol or the
Let's see.
phase. I'll look into this. This is an interesting topic, but the less water aspect is a thing like that I've got. And oh man, I could show you. I've got pics, but
here it is right here. Is this what you're talking about? Could you hold less water and due to the horse estrogens in vivo being more neuroprotective, could this be a viable use case? What are some potential drawbacks and or benefits to this use in case over estradiol?
I'm interested in this topic, but I wish I could tell them more. Like, I'm not really sure, but I gotta hit me up on my Instagram or my email. So I'd like to talk about this more with you, but yeah, I'm okay. I want to take let's see. So there's Tina Carlson says 62 to 18 post Anavar.
Whoa, that's a major drop.
Menopause on an estradiol patch.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were saying oxandrolone. All right.
Well, oh, yeah. Oxandrolone.
It is post Anavar. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, I'm curious sort of levels, the estradiol levels to see what it was. But, like, for sure, I would think, yeah, the oxandrolone, any oral at all, drops SHBG like extreme. It's only a select few injectables that do not, like, that I kind of just walked through the list. Let's see. 21 to 14 it actually went down to. It'll come up like when you're on a deficit or you just are on less orals, but it takes like for example, if you I'm trying to think of the equivalent as a guy. It's like, say you were on just 120 milligrams a week of testosterone, your settling point of your SHBG for most people will be at like 20, but the time it will take to go from say 5 all the way back up to 20 while you're still on 120 test a week is going to be like on the order of years. And I actually have that in here too. Like in my labs, we can pull that up. But
yeah, let's do that.
It takes a long time to rebound if there's still like anything pushing it down. Go to like 2023, like all the way down.
Yep. Where are we at? 24, getting there.
And basically what I noticed was like on 80 milligrams of test, like my SHBG over that time went from only like 12, I think, to 14 or something like that over the course of 8 months or something.
Okay, here we're January 23, so that's the beginning of.
So look for an SHBG in this range. Like, I got such a negligible bump, but you can see. Let's see. This will be in.
There we go.
September of 23. Let's see. Yeah, 14.7. So this is like as I was on my way up, like while on cycle still, but having other experiments in between. It had gone down to man, I forget how low it got, but at this point it was down to like 8, you know, but it took me a long ass time to recover it while still having something suppressing it. Like it's finicky, you know, but
Let's keep rolling down here a bit.
my trash lipids, although my
Yeah, right.
HDL is not
Wow.
bad. My HDL ain't bad, but let's see. I keep having that high platelet thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is that a genetic mutation of some sort?
I see some people have it. It seems like people who have high platelets, they always have high platelets. And here's my there's my 44 total testosterone. Look at that. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And a jacked up HSCRP.
Previous 3,200. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This is on Test Probe too. Like another thing here on Test Probe, 40 milligrams a day. On 40 milligrams a day of Test Probe, I got 3,275 nanograms per deciliter. On 90 milligrams of Test and Enthate, I had between 1,200 and 2,800 nanograms per deciliter. So like on under half the dose of Test Prop, I had a higher serum level, weirdly. And it was even more consistent too. Like I was doing daily shots of both. So I don't know what it is with Test E for some people. You'll see weird, your serum levels won't go up sometimes properly the way that you would expect.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. There's been a lot of talk in the community about that. And it's unfortunate if you're overseas, then you're pretty much getting an Enthate whether you want it or not.
Right. Let's hit on this too. Like,
sure.
Okay, go to January of 24 or 23, January 23.
Okay, let's see where we're at first.
Look for estradiol.
Where are we at right now? We got to go. Oh, January 23. We're close. Get out of here.
And what ended up happening was my estradiol from estradiol and Enthate.
Oh, I bet you it's up, dude.
I think it's for sure in February or January of like 23. It's an estradiol test.
There we go. Okay, so now we're back in 23. I am going up. There we go. We're close.
Oh, you can even search it too, actually.
There we go. There's March.
Just look for estradiol. But I'm curious
that's
to anyone
24, son of a bitch.
Anyone who's seen who's like actually checked the total testosterone level, look at what you get off of a certain dose. Like, I think, Tanya actually put her experience in with this. I would like to actually talk with her more specifically about that, but I think her estradiol level was like completely not what it would just be expected to be using estradiol valerate. And Mason, who was going to actually come on tonight, who we couldn't make it, but on estradiol valerate, he doubled his dose and his E2 went from, I think, 10 to 15, doubled it again to 25. I mean, I realize that's not like a giant jump, but like he wasn't getting the expected serum level that he should get. It was only like, 15 picograms per milliliter from an Enthate she uses. So an Enthate is what I saw the issue with. I do want to find it though, so like I could just show specific.
Oh, I would love to find it.
I got it. I'll tell you what it is.
Good.
You can search the PDF. Like I'll just type in.
Just tell me what page it is, please. For the love of God. I got it. Holy shit.
Page 9, I think, right?
Page 9? I'm on page 77. 1323. Is that what you want?
Okay, that's it.
Okay, look at that. I found it. All right. Look at that. Tomorrow you guys can teach me how to boil water.
All right, look for an E2 in this range.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
I don't know why they attach this stuff to here sometimes.
Yeah, they're trying to get all fancy.
What's the date on that?
Graphs.
We're
going back now? We're losing it?
9/7/22. I think we got.
Yeah, how'd that happen? Yeah, right here. What, did you not get an estradiol on this? That wouldn't be like you, dude.
Let's see. I'll find it. I'm finding it right here. I got it. It's on the page. But what I do have is like on the same dose of estradiol and anthate, on the same injection frequency, the same schedule, my estradiol range from 30 something to 70 and then back again, you know.
I didn't even know they had an anthate.
Page
I just
60,
thought it was,
page
I just
60.
thought it was Valerate and Sip. Page what?
Yeah. Let's see, 64. Now my page counter disappeared, but oh well. On one of these labs,
you're gonna have to trust him on this one.
I mean, that's kind of what happens anyway.
Oh, look at estradiol here, dude. 112.
Okay, this is the one that is
that's
after
223. So it's just after. So we got to be damn close.
Yeah. So just keep going. So 112. That was on 5.6 milligrams of estradiol valerate per week, split every other day. So that was giving me a multiplier of like 20 picograms per milliliter. Per 1 milligram per week.
I hear you, Josh. Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Keep going up and looking for the next estradiol sensitive. So just keep going slow so we don't go past it. This is while using estradiol and anthate is what we'll see here at the same dose as what I just got 112 with. And something about the enanthate ester, my body does not cleave it. And I've seen it with multiple other people too. Like, I don't know if it's not cleaving it right here. Okay. So this is on 4.2 milligrams of estradiol and anthate a week, split every other day. So that's a terrible trash multiplier. So 34 divided by 4.2, 8. So I only got 8 picograms per milliliter instead of 20 picograms per milliliter per 1 milligram with an enthate. But then it gets even weirder. You keep going up.
Let's do it.
Even more whack. And all of a sudden, it just jumps up again to like 70. Same exact vial, same exact everything. Right
there you go. Yep.
66.5. Yeah. So I wasn't doing anything differently. It was the same vial, everything. And I don't know if I got a total test on this, but oh wait, I did. Look just to confirm my testosterone.
Yeah, I saw it down here. Huh? Is it up higher?
Going up a little bit? Testosterone is 12 something. Okay, it says that. Fuck, I should have got it on a sensitive, but I was taking androgen here. So
yeah, I remember that. It was like 12 or 13, right? Did I miss it?
Yeah. Regardless. Wait, no. Yeah, go down. You were going the right way.
There we go. Test. There. All right. There's your free. Here's total. There you go. 1264. That's high.
This makes it look like I was taking test or something here.
Yeah,
contributing to the aromatization, but I wasn't. Like, it was because I was on nandrolone here. I don't know why I got a non-sensitive test on this. It was probably what I was trying to say. But estradiol and anthate had
like I didn't know that an androlone actually typically showed up on a test.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
as testosterone, right? Okay,
yeah,
that's interesting.
I think so. Or something I was taking did because I wasn't taking test. Let's see. Low creatinine. Who's got that? Who the hell has that issue? I don't even know. But keep going the way you were going. Look for an estradiol, like again.
Yeah, we go right here.
So back to 37. So that was like in range roughly. But the weird thing is just that I had the low ass multiplier. So regardless of my, people could say like, oh, you were obviously on test, your gear was fake, you're on test. But then, you know, how do you explain the like only 37 picograms per milliliter per 4.2 milligrams per week? So it's like on the order of 3 times, 4 times less of a serum bump from an enthate ester. And the same thing was there with testosterone and enthate too. Like on half the dose of test probe, I got a higher level of serum level from that compared to test and enthate, you know? It's just, I don't know why, but some esters don't seem to like elevate serum levels for some people, because I have clients who take test and enthate and their levels look like high normal, like what they should be. But I don't know what's going on there, but it's just a weird thing. What else have we got in my labs too?
Let's pull it up.
We can just scroll through slowly. I'll talk about stuff.
Sure.
Go through it. Unless we get, you know, whenever we get questions, we can just go.
Yeah, guys, go ahead. Let's drop some questions. Let's
we got this. So oral E2, I think I gave myself like morning sickness with this one time. Like I kind of came to that determination because I mega dosed it, and I didn't always have this problem. I didn't before, but I would just wake up, be fine, and then start puking my guts out for like 5 hours of the day, and then be fine. Like I was having all the way up to like undigested bile, like just like
no way. That's the worst. It burns like hell.
Yeah, and like orally too. I don't know. It just sucks. You get more conversion to estrone and not as consistent serum levels, and for the same reason why we inject other steroids, like the same would be true with estradiol. You know, orally too can get you a transiently, or can get you a greater SHBG bump for the same boost in serum level, but injectable E2 is just like for the same reason people inject test or Tren or whatever it is.
And what's the problem with injecting it? If you're already pinning a couple
Right.
times a week your other androgens, then you're just including the E2 during that time.
Because that's for trannies is what people think.
Oh yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
but you know, I actually learned how to a lot of this stuff from that community. Actually, that's how I started looking into it. I was like finding out what dose people take and what serum level they get. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and lo and behold, the other people there in that community had the same issues. Some of them with some esters just didn't elevate their levels to what they should. Like I found a couple of times where people were regimented enough to be able to test their levels on this form versus this form, and then they were like, notice the same thing as me.
Josh is absolutely right here.
Yeah, that's true. You get the clotting factors that just show up. I'm not exactly sure what mech is going on there to cause that, but I do know it is a thing. I steer people away from oral estrogen. Same could be true for D-ball, I wonder, maybe.
Oh, look at this from Tren. He found a DHT cream source from a tranny thread on Reddit.
Oh, you gotta love the trans subreddits to source goodies. Because they're so like righteous about it too, because it's like a political cause for them too. So
yeah,
you know, they don't get banned and for the things that like you would normally get banned anywhere else for. So no, you didn't hear that from me, but yeah.
Shit. All right, let's have some fun. All righty, what do we got? Albumin. Come on, Austin. That's freaking low, man.
Yeah, I know. I checked my kidneys and you know my kidneys were great. Like cystatin C and creatinine calculated EGFR were like 125 or 123 over and over again.
Now, is your provider seeing these labs?
It depends on which provider you mean. Like my primary, probably.
Yeah,
not.
they run like they just run a CBC basically, and like
I haven't even gotten labs with him.
Oh, okay. I was just curious if what he would say, like it, you know, if you're open or not with him.
Oh, I am like partially open, but like, you know, I've told him I'm taking testosterone and androgen because I have a prescription for those, and
Thanks,
that is
brother.
the truth. So I tell him the truth.
Yeah,
But
that's fair. We actually talked about that with Mike. We talked about his with his PA, you know, and we got into the same conversation then. So
yeah,
and you know what? I find that the general practitioners don't really give a shit. I had a lot of problems with GPs for a long time, but I got this new one, right? And I was like, you know, these are the things I do. I'm on hormones. I go to this, I do that. And he's like, none of that's my problem. None of that's my concern. I'm here as your general practitioner to check your health and your physicals, all that other stuff doctors manage, not my concern. Every other freaking GP I've ever gone to is like, they're out of their freaking mind. They try to micromanage. They want to be like, oh, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? It's like, none of your fucking business, bro. You're working for me. Do you realize that? You know? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right. What does you got here? Pokemon. I don't know why I'm calling him Pokemon. I think it's freaking hilarious. Pokey Account, he is. Do you think you can prevent almost all or all of the kidney toxicity with the proper hydration and a lot of steady state cardio, increased plasma volume?
I mean, prevent all of life is like that is toxic. So life is toxic, but yeah, I agree with Josh.
Yeah, he says those are your best steps, but no, right? So
that, well, also blood pressure control too. Like, you gotta manage that. You know, and I'm not a fan of the well, not that I'm not a fan, that's not true. I didn't mean it like that. I just have been liking and getting more effect from the, you know, the alt mechanism of blood pressure control that I get through the alpha-1 antagonism.
Mm-hmm.
So doxazosin.
I'm gonna have to look that up and see if I can get that through my telemed site.
Yeah, you gotta start at the lowest possible dose though, because it's like one of these meds that you can't. It goes all the way up to 8 or 14 milligrams, but you can't start at that dose. Everybody has to start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like,
I'm on BP meds now. I've been on them for some time actually.
What do you take?
It's a dual med. It's amlodipine and something else.
Probably a diuretic, maybe.
I'm not sure, but it works really well. No, I'd have to go and actually get the bottle and look at it. It works really well. My blood pressure is always dead freaking nuts. Perfect.
Do you get ankle swelling? Because amlodipine can cause that.
Yeah, no, I don't get it from amlodipine. I get it from I take prednisone intermittently because of my back. When it gets irritated, it gets really difficult to sit, and it really affects my life in a major way. So I run prednisone for like 4 days. I'll start off at 30 milligrams for 2 days, then go down to 20, and then and then that's it. Sometimes I'll go a couple days longer, depending on how bad it is. But that's the only time I get actual relief. Doesn't matter what I take. Yeah,
I would recommend, or you try starting like to have potassium in your water, see if that helps anything, because if you notice it being correlated to water retention from D-ball, like it could be extracellular water balance, and you can't actually really fix that by taking potassium and like a bolus the same way. It doesn't work the same way, is what I've been noticing. Like, if you just take these, like, it's not the same as like sipping it. It's weird.
I don't have tachycardia. No, the high blood pressure was the problem. Actually, no, I have had tachycardia in the past, but that was when I was running much higher doses of androgens. But no, the high blood pressure, I never had high blood pressure until I went on hormones. So it was obviously from the hormones. I also have very high hematocrit and untreated sleep apnea.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. So I got to get that taken care of, because I used to have, I've talked about this so many times, that I lost it in a move or something, like around 2013. So I had gone back to the sleep lab that I had 2 sleep studies done, and where I'd gotten a sleep CPAP prescription.
Oh,
And I told them what happened. And the doctor that had been there, they're like, oh, it's been past 10 years and we don't have your records. And that doctor is no longer here. We need you to do another sleep study. I was like, are you out of your freaking mind? I did a 24-hour sleep study and I did another sleep study. I just need a freaking fan that blows air down your throat. Can you just write me a new script? So ever since then, we're talking over 10 years now, dude. I've been untreated with, and now as soon as I started working out, it's getting worse immediately. As soon as the tissue in your neck starts to get thicker.
Yep.
You know, it's no difference than putting on fat, right?
How good? Do you have a CPAP?
No, I don't.
Do you want one?
Hell yeah.
Okay, all right. You can buy them, I think, like on certain sites without a script. Like I'll send.
Yeah, we talked about this at one point. I just need to have it calibrated, right? Or they self-calibrated more.
The self-calibration, I think they suck, but you're better off, in my opinion, just setting it at the pressure you need it at, and just have a high pressure and a low pressure range. Like you can let the auto do its thing, but often the auto thing, like if you have it set between 8 and 20, it'll like go all the way up when it doesn't need to. Like, so the auto adjusting feature is like good sometimes, but sometimes it's just way out of whack, and like you'll be like have way too much pressure than you need. Like most people, I would say 12 is like high amount of pressure. So I would just like cap my machine at like 10 and like 11 or something, so it's free to fluctuate within that range, but not like go all the way up to 20 or something nuts. And then they have these the servo machines that like adjusts on the fly, breath to breath. I've never tried one, but I'm very interested in getting more feedback and insight to see like approaches like this, like where Tanya was saying.
Yeah, we're gonna have Tanya in real soon. You know, because I talked to her last week in the Coach's Corner IG group. And I said I knew that you had somebody coming on this week. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it, but yeah, I'd be in touch and let her know when next week. Sounds good to me, man. You know, that's cool.
Because I gotta have people come on, because like, you know, I've been like raising the alarm for SHBG and all these things for a long time, but having the clients that I have be able to come on, or people who I've like, you know, like taught or learned, or they tried something that I did, like, you know,
right.
That's more useful to see, like, because it's not just me saying it. But,
yeah, exactly.
You know, so that's what we're going to do next. And in this case, I would like to see if there are women who are taking, like, you know, an estradiol base with an injectable, like boldenone or Primo or one of the others. Like, I feel like just always, my opinion and the small bit, I guess, of experience I've had in that area is that DHT is kind of the precipitating cause. And you can see that when you add stuff in that will increase the amount of DHT you get, like Primo with testosterone, it will increase the DHT. Potentially.
You know, I bet that'd be a great question for Tanya when she's on, because she has a lot of clients, works with women. She's a female bodybuilder. I'm sure she's aware of what the other women are taking, or at least some of them. So that'd be great.
I would think for women, Primo needs to be used with an estradiol base. Like, I think taking Primo, like, without replacing anything else, like just adding Primo in, will stop the menstrual cycle completely more than the rest, and lead to that runaway PCOS effect, because of, women get all of their estradiol from aromatization. Like, women get estradiol from test being aromatized. So if you take Primo and you crush that,
it's a very small amount though, right?
What's that?
Their aromatization into estradiol
for
females.
Women? Yeah. So all of the estradiol in a woman's body comes from testosterone being aromatized into estrogen, actually. But
okay, I had it backwards.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. So like you think it looks like it's just like being produced Okay, yeah, that's the way I would do it. Let's see. I've seen this more from like irregular progesterone, like
Mm.
switching from injectable to oral and then back again. And also it seems to take some amount of time from being stabilized on the injectable to like prevent that like spotting effect. But like the levels just need to be stable of progesterone. That's like what triggers the period is that drop in progesterone level. So let's see, where was I going with that? Yeah, ovaries and adrenals also produce testosterone. I actually, what is, oh, if I recall, I didn't know what IIRC is.
Yeah.
But yes, and all of that is what is, or then aromatized into estradiol. In a woman's like FSH, actually, its job is to increase aromatase. So by increasing FSH disproportionately, that increases aromatase, and that's what actually causes the increase in estradiol levels over the course of a menstrual cycle. It's like weird. And then there's this positive feedback switch. It's just different. It's weird. I was kind of mind blown when I learned about that. But yeah, I honestly, I would think I would want to see Primo with.
I think I remember when you learned that, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was like, this was in the HFM days.
Yeah, that's what I remember. You were like, what? And then as he was explaining, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, because like, like with a man, like you're either on and shut down or you're not. Like it's there's not really as much middle ground, basically. Like I would like to see, I think that the turbocharged stack for a girl would be like literally DHB, injectable estradiol, DHB, and injectable progesterone. Like in all the men who I've got on that, minus the injectable progesterone, like the lack of DHT isn't a thing. Like, I sound like a broken record, but we'll be getting more people on, who've had the experience, and like the couple dozen people who've tried it at this point. Oh, I lost Eric. Am I still live? Let me check that. I don't know what happened to Eric, but anyone who's watching, drop anything if you want me to answer that, because I don't have my labs to go off of anymore. The injectable progesterone is kind of like finicky because it can crash quite a bit. Like I've seen that be unstable. Type your question again, androgen receptor. I'll try to go back and find it, but I didn't see your question. It may have. I'll take this though. Replacement doses of thyroid meds. I take them. I stay on a baseline of T4 and T3 because I just like to keep things fixed, to have that approach where like that isn't going to be what's altering my metabolism when I've been deep into a diet, like losing the conversion of T4 into T3. Like it's kind of like a thought out thing I'm trying to just prevent. I can't say I've compared it to see if it's like really a big thing, but T3 though definitely does give a wakefulness effect, like considerably, especially if you take stimulants of any type, like you take Adderall or Dexedrine. T3 significantly makes those more effective. So if you're dealing with fatigue, like I would say, try that, but split up your thyroid twice a day at least, and take it under the tongue. Like have not had anything to eat for at least 30 or 40 minutes. Have a completely dry mouth, and then put the tablet under your tongue, and it will absorb, and you'll notice there's no tablet there anymore. But if your mouth starts salivating, it's going to ruin it. It won't work. As good. Welcome back. Are you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, all right. I got to turn this down. Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, good.
That was weird. You're not getting an echo, are you? I'm trying to turn this down. Are you getting an echo?
No. Let's see. Injectable L-carnitine. I've taken that and didn't get anything from it, honestly. I've gone up to 3 grams a day. Didn't really notice anything, honestly. But I took it when I was heavily dieting. I had only taken like 700 milligrams or 600, 650 or something. And I didn't notice any fat loss extra from it. But I also wasn't in an environment where I could have like noticed injectable L-carnitine was the significant thing that made the difference, because I was already dropping a shitload of weight and fat every week. So how am I going to really know? I'm only going to know if it like interrupts it somehow, basically. Holy shit, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, guy. If I'm not, also you forgot me walking around with like my phone camera to see my destroyed house.
It's always something, man. It's always something.
So I'm trying to work on this, Tanya, too. It's like very finicky. I think it is literally just due to anything that can change how much of the hormone progesterone gets into the body when and at what time. Like, it's, think about any variable that that interrupts or changes how fast the depot absorbs. So like if you're injecting any bit of your progesterone subcutaneously or borderline subcutaneously when you're getting lean, like it's going to be different. So like it makes sense here. If you're stage lean, subcutaneous fat is near gone, you're going to absorb much faster from an intramuscular depot. So you're going to get a sharp spike and then a fall. And if it is the fall of progesterone that is what triggers bleeding. Like, so, you know, when a girl is on birth control, you know, they have like the 3 weeks of the pill and then the placebo week. There's nothing in the placebo, but that's not even actually a real period. It's just a pseudo period triggered by the loss of that progestin med that's in the pill going away. So that's why it's like super controlled. It's like exactly 3 days of this or 5 days of this or whatever it is. It's a week, but, you know, the drop in progesterone is what triggers bleeding. So anything that interrupts the oral progesterone being absorbed or changes its absorption or the absorption of the depot from an injectable, you know, that would make sense. I would say to get around that, let's see.
Yeah, so she was first time she used it successfully.
Oh, okay.
Been very lean before and doesn't use injectable progesterone.
I see.
Well, here she's been on steady oral progesterone since 22.
Okay. Anytime you have bleeding, ever, anytime, you're supposed to get a pelvic exam. So that is the correct advice that I must give you, just because you can have the fibroids risk, especially if your estradiol has been higher than what it would typically be, like during a menstrual cycle. Like if you've ever had periods where you were maybe taking higher milligrams of estradiol per week, even if maybe you didn't test your levels, maybe you did, that is the proliferation of the uterine lining. So having that makes it so that drop in progesterone level, which triggers the bleed, makes that bleed more severe. So often it's like not necessarily just only the fact that the drop in progesterone or the change in progesterone levels, it's that you could have had higher and excessively high estrogen signaling. That higher estradiol signaling is what causes the fibroid growth, so that any change in the levels you're more sensitive to. If I switch esters, I guarantee you, watch what you see happens when you switch esters. I'm curious the dose and if you've tried increasing the milligram dose, Tanya, because like on my labs that I showed there, like 4.2 milligrams a week, 30 picograms per milliliter. 4.2 milligrams per week, 66. 4.2, and then back into the 30s again. But that same dose of cypionate or valerate was giving me 112, much higher. And then, same with testosterone and anything too.
All right, we got a question here, Austin, from Pokey Account. When do you think in men high estradiol is bad, if it's even bad, when gyno isn't developing and mood is good? Are you a fan of basing off what feels or blood work?
Both, because I thought that I just did better the higher my E2 was up until the point of gyno. Like I thought that was like I felt better and better and better, because there is some degree to the changing in levels produces an effect in and of itself. Like, so it isn't just the level on a piece of paper and the number. It is literally, it seems like going from, for example, a 50 and dropped down to a 20, feels different than, like, you feel low at 20 there maybe, but if you go from 100 and you crush it down to 50, you can feel low estradiol symptoms at 50. I see it all the time, and like I've done it to myself over and over and over. My levels were 50, but that's not objectively low, but yet I'm getting low E2 sides. So in this case, like the levels, and you're not getting gyno, yes, you got to base it off field, but I have kind of now refined it a little bit. I notice consistently feeling a bit better and more primed in the 30s range, 40s, at least on an HRT dose of androgen of any sort. But I used to feel like that too. I was like, let's just go like higher. Like I, had more like positive drive in everything from high estradiol. And then I don't know, it's kind of different at different times. Like I said, the changing in the levels of these hormones themselves produces its own effect. So they have a downstream effect on the neurotransmitters that make us feel how we do. Like, so the hormones don't really affect how we feel directly. They just are the under current, I guess, whatever, that causes an influence in dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. So that's what changes how we feel.
All right, man.
1.2 milligrams a week, or 1.5. Tanya said she was on.
Yeah, Tanya. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me see. Usually with most women, like, because I saw like at least like 100 over a course of a year, it's about 50 to 60 picograms per milliliter per 1 milligram per week. So 1.5 times 55, let's say, that should put you at about 80. If it isn't doing that, it is the ester that isn't working for you in all the experiences I've seen. And that switching an ester changed it. So it was like night and day. Cypionate and valerate work for me, and anthate doesn't. And other people I've seen an anthate work fine. And I've seen them not tolerate valerate. Valerate didn't work for them.
Like, we got a couple questions here, Austin. Here, does HGH frag AOD actually effective work for fat loss in reality practice?
I don't know. Never cared about it.
No,
never tried it. Yeah, it probably does, I would assume.
All right, we got another one here from Pokey Account. When do you think in men higher? Oh, we already did that one. I'm bad.
That one.
Yeah.
Yep. There was some from the last week, or from a few weeks ago now. But if there's live questions here too, something about the E2 cream was one. I can just copy and paste that here.
Yeah, if you got it, go ahead and just pull it up.
So, yeah, shout out to More Plates, More Dates here, but he did a SARMs injectable SARMs experiment with estradiol as its base. And actually, shout out my good friend, Alec. He did the same thing, but using birth control, actually. And in the case of Alec, he got jacked using SARMs only with birth control as his base. So without tests. Yeah. And so people were doing this before me, but More Plates, More Dates, his experience, he's got this article on his website, videos talking about it. The cream estradiol, even when he would like increase and double the dose, didn't elevate his serum level properly. Like I think he couldn't get over a 15 picogram per milliliter while taking some dose of nandrolone. I don't know how much he was taking on that one. And then he did injectable LGD 4033 with cream estradiol, and that also didn't raise his levels from my memory. So I just, injecting this stuff is obviously the best way to go. I like sublingual sometimes. Yeah. Injectable is the best way, but also I have taken sublingual estradiol valerate pre-workout, and you get a sick pump from it, actually, like way better than anything. Yeah, it sounds freaking weird, and then if you do it too many days in a row, then you get like water retentive as hell. But you get like 2-3 in there, and like you do have a crazy pump from it. It's weird.
That's funny.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, hair loss, I got my video on here too, but I don't know if we pulled these from like places or these were just like stuff that we thought.
What's that? About the hair loss video?
Yeah. Like in my experience, like I'm only my N of one, but like of all the people like talking about this kind of stuff, I've probably been the longest DHT deprived person in all of this. And, you can look at my pictures, and I grew my hair back, or at least it looks better in pictures, is what most people would probably say. And I did that while growing hair on my face that I didn't used to have. So,
and about everywhere else.
Yeah, I know. I got it all over my back.
Oh man, crazy, dude. I got to use that shaver like once a week now.
Yeah. How do you do your back though? You can't. You could have.
It's like a wand. It's like a wand, and it has 5 razors on it. It works really well, actually. But what happens as soon as it starts growing in, it's like your freaking beard, and your back starts feeling like freaking sandpaper.
Yep. It's like prickly. But this question I'm so excited by because like I've been like a diehard ride or die YK11 fan since like 2022. Like it was like my first 4 months of using gear that I ever tried it, and it was and still remains the most potent thing, or one of them that I've ever tried, next to like Superdrol or Methyl Tren, maybe, even though Methyl Tren didn't impress me. But Anadrol, yes, for strength, and also when carb loading, like so on a high day, like mineral retention, you can get disproportionately like high amounts of like added water on your frame. I don't know if this would ever like be beneficial to me, like for a look wise, but it would be for strength. So, but I need to be in a caloric surplus to get this effect. If I take Anadrol at a deficit, I don't get the water retention effect. I don't get the nausea effect that it gives me, and I don't get the strength effect. It's like inert when I take it while in a deficit. It's bizarre. But yeah, YK11 gets me out of bed in the morning. It's the shit. It's a 19 nor actual steroid. It's a 19 derived steroid. Yeah. Yeah, and it's got a weird chemical group where the ester usually attaches. Like, so instead of, it looks like a 19-nor with an ester, but instead of an ester being there, it's got like, I don't know what the hell you would call that, but something where the ester usually is supposed to go. Almost like a cypionate or a hexahydrobenzyl carbonate or a phenylpropionate, sort of. Like, because those esters are different than like the straight chain ones of like propionate and enthate, isocaproate, decanoate, undecanoate.
Now let's see, what do we got here? What compounds do you dislike or don't understand the hype or love for?
Don't understand. Oh, okay. All right.
It's probably a long list.
Let's see. The hype. Let's see. Fuck. Anadrol, maybe. Like, I don't like it. I don't like D-ball either. I don't hate it. I don't really hate anything, actually, to be honest. Oh yeah, Ment. It's freaking garbage. It's like the most overrated strong compound. It's strong at like 20 milligrams a week, but then you take it at like 350 milligrams a week, and it's like not any stronger for some reason. Like, not literally 20, but like I don't think I noticed a difference going from 115 milligrams a week to 420, I think. So yeah, Ment. Anadrol. I think
Anadrol, no shit.
Okay, yeah. So I get sick from it. Like I have multiple times I've puked in my sleep from Anadrol on the second dose. So like I'm biased there. But that said, I think especially for a woman to use it, like it's the best thing that women could probably use in that one regard because of the strength boost that you get from it. And I mean, I don't know about the animalism itself, but you know, we were talking about More Plates, More Days. He talked about that too, actually, that like microdoses of Anadrol is probably a good female compound, actually. And I would say I would agree. But for me, it made me nauseous. And yeah.
Yeah, but what dose did you take, man?
25, 50. So
yeah.
nothing. Well, no, that's like half a tab. That's like half of an Anadrol and then a full one.
Really? They come in hundreds?
Well, like,
oh shit.
I had taken 25 and then 50 before, you know, and on like the second dose. But if I take it during like my low days, like when I've been in the deficit, in the glycogen deprived state, I don't get that nausea or sickness effect from it either. But I also don't get the benefits. It's quite weird. But super
I actually got that today from my subs. I almost barfed. Like it was so close. Yeah, I had to lay down for orals. Yeah, D-ball.
Oh, okay, I see. That so D-ball is another one of these that I would get the quick nausea. Yeah, like especially if like I was laying down going to bed, like I'll wake up and I'm choking, like before so many times. I'm like, ugh. Like because like you know aspirate in my sleep, but you know yeah, Anadrol would probably be effective. I don't know about Superdrol for women, but Superdrol like seems like it works in a completely different way because like if I take both Superdrol and Anadrol in the fed state, they both are strong. But Superdrol works in the deficit state too. I don't know what the hell that is. It sounds like woo-woo as hell, but like it's just weird. Like Superdrol didn't make me nauseous at first, and then but after 2 weeks of taking it, it just completely did. Like I felt like seasick almost. I just never again. Okay, she's not going to test it. I don't blame you. It's strong as hell, but YK11 does everything better in my opinion, and does not have that side effect. So, yeah.
All right, man. I got to get popping off. It's getting late, bro. So we will see you guys next week. And we're sorry that our guest couldn't make it tonight. Sometimes these things happen last minute. But we hope that we put on a good show for you guys. Answered all your questions. We really appreciate you coming out tonight. And we look forward to seeing you next week. So enjoy the weekend and have a great week next week. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific. Austin, I'll pass it off to you before I hit the end screen.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody again for coming out. Like, I appreciate everybody's support. Like, I feel I feel disorganized, but at the same time, like, everybody has, like, you know, accepted and embraced me in a way that I haven't felt before. So I really am glad to have that and have you guys watching. So thank you. And thank you, Eric, too.
Thank you, brother. All right, guys. Appreciate it a lot. Hit that like button if you haven't thus far. Drop some comments on the comment board, and we'll see you next week. Have a great